Hello there, people from all over the world. It's great to see you here. I wish you a wonderful day and hope you're all doing fine. In this edition, I will share the life story of a nurse, featuring one of the top JAV actresses in the business. She has been one of my favorite performers since her time with Ebisu Muscats. Let's dive in and look back at one of her films. The story takes place in a hospital where a nurse named Rio has just started her first day. A patient is in search of his former nurse who tended to him, feeling curious and uncertain. Since Rio is new, she isn't sure how to respond but assures him that she will locate her later. The patient quickly develops a fondness for her, captivated by her beauty, and feels pleased at the prospect of having her as his new caregiver. She feels happy because the patients appreciate her. Rio is compassionate and supportive, making her an ideal nurse. Since childhood, she has envisioned herself in a white uniform, not only because it looks lovely but also because it embodies a powerful presence that assists those in need. It's a role that is noble and demands significant expertise to execute effectively. She is determined to excel as a nurse and wishes to embody this spirit every day. A male patient seeks her help regarding an individual named Kobayashi. Upon contacting the office for details, she was surprised to learn that Kobayashi is also a nurse who has resigned from her position. From there, she will uncover more troubling secrets about the hospital where she is employed. Is she ready for the challenges that await her? In the following scene, two male physicians are engaging in a conversation. One informed his superior about the recent resignation of two nursing staff within a month. However, that doesn't concern Dr. Oshima, the hospital's head, because he believes this is a typical occurrence. Individuals will depart, but new ones will arrive to take their place. Additionally, both doctors and patients appreciate the new nurse, so it won't be hard for them that someone leaves. There are still numerous people who have confidence in his prestigious hospital due to their covert dealings, so he suggested altering the procedures to discourage female nurses from resigning. He called Dr. Kuroda to implement the new strategy that is set to commence immediately. A male patient and nurse Rio were also present in the room. After providing first aid to the man, he returned to his own room. They were then left alone inside. That was the final patient of the day, and the doctor expressed gratitude to Rio for her effort. He complimented the lovely nurse who performed nearly flawlessly on her first shift. As a token of appreciation, he offered her a bottle of energy drink to help combat her fatigue. He mentioned that everyone working there consumed it. Initially, she hesitated but ultimately accepted and drank it. Once she finished her beverage, Dr. Kuroda also exited the room. After some time, the beautiful nurse began to feel dizzy and disoriented. Was it due to a long day of work or the after effects of the energy drink? Slowly, she weakened and collapsed on the floor. A few minutes later, she regained consciousness. She was astonished that she had fallen asleep and worried she would face reprimand by her superiors. The following day, Rio is observed caring for her patient. Dr. Kuroda arrived to greet the ill man, cheerfully informing him that his condition was getting better. The man expressed his gratitude to the lovely nurse, noting that she had played a significant role in his healing since her arrival. He mentioned that everyone in the hospital would be delighted to be around her, giving Rio a goofy glance from head to toe. The doctor shared a similar look while Rio remained unaware of the attention. She felt happy about the compliments but was unwittingly heading towards a storm in her life. After the examination, the doctor commanded Rio to follow him to the treatment room. In the examination room, Dr. Kuroda presented the CT scan of the patient to his nurse from earlier. Based on the results, the patient's health is getting better. However, they must remain vigilant and provide excellent care since a single error could result in immediate death. They need to stay alert at all times. Suddenly, the man inquired if Rio had any health concerns. The woman was puzzled by the question. She was taken aback to see her own images displayed on the monitor from when she had dozed off the previous night. She had believed that her actions would go unnoticed. The doctor assessed her whole body and complimented her on her beauty from head to toe. Rio felt embarrassed by the compliments. However, the doctor felt it was insufficient and insisted on a thorough examination of the attractive nurse to ensure there were no underlying health issues. The woman was uncomfortable with her superior's intentions, but she feared that her refusal could lead to her dismissal from the hospital. Not wanting to lose her job, she reluctantly agreed to allow the doctor to examine her in that room. It was due to a brief lapse in attention that night that resulted in the earlier incident, and she held herself accountable for it. Dr. Kuroda continues to monitor Nurse Rio 10 days later. Although she disagrees with the situation, she feels powerless to change it. Being a nurse has always been her dream, so she can't afford to lose her job, even with what's unfolding in the hospital. One day, she received the assignment of caring for a VIP patient, the son of the company's executive who has ties to the hospital. She complied with all of the patient's requests, as that was what her superiors instructed her to do. In his room, Dr. Kuroda was pleased as he glanced at the photographs. His superior spoke to him on the other line and requested to tell the nurse to go to his office. Rio promptly headed to that location. She felt obligated to go since he was the head of the hospital, but she was unaware of the reason. He conversed with her and outlined some policies to the attractive nurse. He mentioned that many people have faith in them, so they should not let anyone down with their service. Dr. Oshima relies on Rio to perform her duties adequately. Suddenly, the doctor revealed a picture and presented it to the nurse. The woman reacted with shock at the sight, questioning why her photo was in the possession of the hospital's director. According to the doctor, someone had reported the image to him, and now he was very disheartened by the nurse's actions and demeanor. He claimed to have complete knowledge about them, and Dr. Kuroda confessed to their forbidden affair. Dr. Oshima expressed his disapproval of women's behavior who shift the blame and responsibility onto others. He stated that she was no different from the nurses who had resigned from their positions, but he had anticipated that the nurse would remain there. Tearfully, Rio shared her explanation and expressed remorse for the embarrassment she had brought upon the hospital. However, it had all been a part of their scheme. This was their method devised to deter nurses from leaving the facility. Because of this, from that day on, all of Dr. Oshima's orders were obeyed by Rio, whether she likes it or not. Since then, she began working as a specialized nurse. All the patients in the hospital received Rio's exceptional care and attention. She dedicated herself to serving them. Initially, she managed quite well. However, over the span of days, weeks, and months, her physical, emotional, and mental well-being slowly deteriorated. With the increasing number of patients and doctors in that facility, she found it increasingly difficult to cope. She realized this might be why Miku and some other nurses had chosen to resign before her. Though this career had been her lifelong dream, she too would resign. Regardless of the consequences, it would be a challenging decision for her. Amidst that nightmarish environment were predatory figures lurking. She feared that she might be trapped there for eternity. Still, she clung to the hope that one day, her suffering would also come to an end, perhaps. The end. It's truly heartbreaking what happened to our dear nurse Rio. Her condition is so grave that the takeaway here is to exercise extra caution when receiving anything from anyone. Stay vigilant and aware of those around you. And also, avoid imitating the negative actions depicted in this movie. Thank you for watching. If you'd like, you can also support my channel by donating any amount through Super Thanks or by becoming a member. Okay, see you in my next story. As always, take care.